to start. So, good morning, students. Presently, we are doing Legendre equation or Legendre polynomial. So, you have seen that for the Legendre equation, Legendre polynomial is the solution. So, up to now, what we have seen, we have the Legendre equation 1 minus x square y double dash minus 2x y dash plus n into n plus 1 y is equal to 0, where n is greater than equal to 0, right? So here means n is non-negative. So for this, we have seen that x is equal to 1 and minus 1 are regular singular point. So we have for the computation of the solution near x is equal to 1, a regular singular point, we have taken this substitution. Right? And with this substitution, we have determined the solution. All these things we have already done. So we have determined that for the x equal to 1, y is equal to f of minus n, n plus 1, 1 and t is the solution. Then after we have seen that second linearly independent solution we can compute through the article 16, but there we have one problem that the general solution will exist only when the C2 is equal to 0 due to the presence of the log t. From here, we have one conclusion that the solution of given Legendre equation is Legendre polynomial, and it is given by this formula in terms of the hypergeometric function f of minus n, n plus 1, 1, 1 by 2 into 1 minus x. Right? So this is the one solution or Pnx, and this is the expansion of the hypergeometric function. This is the expansion of the hypergeometric function. So you can say that this is the Legendre polynomial. So from here you can judge that here the highest term is of x to power n. Then from the section 28, we know that we can determine the power series solution for the ordinary point, and for this case x is equal to 0, 0 is the ordinary point. So the power series of the form we have a summation an x to power n, and depending over the value or nature of the n, we have the either the even terms or the odd term depending over the recurrence relation, right? So here we have computed the value of the ans, right, depending over the value an. From that we have this power series, or you can say polynomial form solution. This is the polynomial form solution where this is your an, right? So highest term is the an x to power n. Then after we have the x to power n minus 2, x to power n minus 4, and so on, depending over the nature of n, whether it is even or odd. Last term will be the either the a1x or a naught. From here, we have computed that Pn is equal to, after taking the summation in the closed form, we have the Pn is equal to. So this form of the Pn we use most. Right. So here Pn is equal to summation k is equal to 0 to greatest integer n by 2 of minus 1 to power k factorial of 2n minus 2k upon 2 to power n factorial of k factorial of n minus k factorial of n minus 2k x to power n minus 2k. From here we have derived very important result known as the Rodrigues formula. So that is the Pnx, and Pnx second, all are the Pnx. So second most useful formula for the Pnx is 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n, nth derivative with respect to x of x square minus 1 power n. So that this is known as the Rodrigues formula. And different order polynomials means when n is equal to 0, n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, right? We can compute different order polynomial. here. So in this case, we have the result P0x is equal to 1, P1x is equal to x, P2x is equal to 1 by 2 into 3x square minus 1, P3x is equal to 1 by 2, 5x cube minus 3x, and so on. After that, we have the same graph for the different polynomial. Then after, we have seen very important formula known as the generating function. So generating function is the function which can generate all order polynomial, right? Which can generate all order polynomial. So it is the 1 minus 2xt plus t square power minus half is equal to summation pnx tn. Means if you take the t is equal to t to power 0, then you will get the p0. If you take t to power 1, you will get the p1. If you take the p to power 2, you will get the p2, and so on. So that's why it is known as the generating function. From the generating function, we have derived that pn1 is equal to 1 and pn minus 1 is equal to minus 1 to power n. Thereafter, we have computed p of 2n at x is equal to 0 is equal to minus 1 to power n, 1 into 3 into 5 into 2n minus 1 upon 2 to power n upon factorial n, and p of 2n plus 1 at x is equal to 0 will be the 0. So this much we have derived in last class. Then after, in the second question, all these are very important result. Then using the generating function, we have derived the important recurrence relation n into n plus 1 pn plus 1 is equal to 2n plus 1 x pnx minus npn minus 1 x. So this is the another important result or recurrence relation we have derived in next class, in previous class. And from this also, from the recurrence relation also, we can derive the same thing, whatever you can derive from the Rodrigues formula, right? All order polynomial we can derive. So till now, any doubt? So means major part of the Legendre equation we have solved. So till now, any doubt to understand? Now, another one is the orthogonality. Orthogonality is integral minus 1 to 1 pmx pnx dx. That is the, it is equal to 0 when m is not equal to n, and orthogonality. So it is the integral minus 1 to 1 pm pn dx. Means pm is the Legendre polynomial of order m, pn is Legendre polynomial of order n, into dx is equal to 0 when m is not equal to n, and when m is equal to n. So when m is equal to n, what is the meaning of the m is equal to n? It is the integral minus 1 to 1 minus 1 to 1 pnx whole square into dx is equal to 2 upon 2n plus 1, right? 2 upon 2n plus 1. So for this, we have assumed one integral I, integral minus 1 to 1 fx into pmx dx, right? So fx be what type of the function it is? Fx must be any function with at least n continuous derivative. Means we can compute the nth derivative, and that should be the continuous in the interval minus 1 to 1. Then what is the formula of the pnx? By the Rodrigues formula. By the Rodrigues formula, it is I is equal to fx, right? I is equal to what? Minus 1 to 1 fx into pnx into dx. So this pnx we are putting by the Rodrigues formula. So Rodrigues formula is what? By Rodrigues formula. By Rodrigues formula, it is 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n, nth derivative with respect to x dn by dxn of x square minus 1 power n into dx. Now, you know, we have the two function fx and another function d to power n dxn x square minus 1 to power n. So by parts we can do the integration. So whatever the constant quantity that you have written outside the integral, so 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n integral minus 1 to power integral minus 1 to 1 fx into dn upon dxn x square minus 1 power n into dx. Now what is the by part integration? First function first function as it is. Now integral of dn, right? Integral of nth derivative of nth derivative. Integral of nth derivative is what? N minus 1th derivative. So fx into n minus 1th derivative of x square minus 1 power n and minus 1 to power 1, and then minus derivative of the first function, and integral of the second function. So when we put x is equal to 1, or x is equal to minus 1, in both case x square minus 1 is equal to 0. So under both limit this function is 0. Under both limit this function is 0. So what we have? We have minus 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n integral minus 1 to 1 f dash, right? F dash and n minus 1th derivative of the derivative with respect to x of x square minus 1 power n into dx. Then after the same thing we will repeat. So here you will get the by parts again you will repeat. So you will get the minus 1 power 2 upon 2 to power n factorial n integral minus 1 to 1 f double dash. The same with the same logic when you repeat. So you will get the minus 1 to power 1 integral minus 1 to 1 f double dash x and second derivative with respect to x of x square minus 1 power n into dx. So similarly, if you do the nth derivative, in the same fashion, if you proceed, so the nth derivative will be or integral will be right, I is equal to, if you continue for n times, so what you will get? I is equal to minus 1 to power n 2 to power n factorial n integral minus 1 to 1. Now nth derivative of f, initially we have already assumed this, that fx must be right, fx must have the nth derivative and all the derivative must be continuous, then only you can integrate. So all the derivative must be continuous. So nth derivative of f, and now in the first we have the first derivative, one derivative reduce, in the second two derivative reduce, right? So in the nth derivative all the derivative will reduce. Now it is independent of any derivative. X square minus 1 power n means it is nothing, it will be the d0 by dx0. Right, it is the d0 by dx0. So nth derivative of this. Now if you assume, now important thing is coming, f is what? Any function whose nth derivative must exist. So if you assume fx is nothing, it is the Legendre polynomial of order m. Let fx is Legendre polynomial of order m where m is less than n, So what will be the nth derivative? I am saying that what is the derivative of x to power m? Right? What is the nth derivative of x to power m in general? M into x to power m minus 1, m into m minus 1 x to power m minus 2, m into m minus 1 into m minus 2 x to power, right, m minus 3, and so on. If n is more than m, then what will be the nth derivative? After that, after mth derivative, it will become the factorial m, and after that, it will become the 0. So nth derivative, I am saying that if you compute the nth derivative of x to power m, and m is less than n, so first derivative will be the if you compute, so it means it is the m, or first derivative will be the m x to power m minus 1. Second derivative is m minus 1 x to power m minus 2, right? And mth derivative is factorial m. Then m plus 1th derivative, is 0. So nth derivative is also 0, right? Because constant derivative will become the 0. So here we have means f, nth derivative of f, or nth derivative of pmx. Pmx is Legendre polynomial. Legendre polynomial of degree, polynomial of degree m, polynomial of degree m. So its result will be the 0. In that case, the integral will come. The integral will come when m is not equal to n. When m is not equal to m, then integral is equal to 0. That is the first orthogonality. Now you can say that m can be greater than n. So just you change the role of the m and n, right? If the m is greater than n, thus just you change the role of the m and n, you will get the same result. So when m is not equal to n, this integral or orthogonality integral minus 1 to 1 pm pn dx will be the 0. Now if the fx is equal to pnx, if fx is equal to pnx, then what will be the what is the nth derivative? You know that what is the pn? What is the pn? Yes, what is the pn? Pnx. Pnx is an x to power n plus an minus 2 x to power n minus 2, and so on. If n is even, then it is the a naught, or if n is odd, then it is the a1x. If you take the nth derivative of pnx, what will be the result? If you take nth derivative of this, what will be the result? Yes, an, yes, right? An factorial n only, right? And an we have already computed earlier. So that I will use here. So nth derivative uh, fn, nth derivative of the pnx. So it will be the factorial 2n upon 2 to power n factorial n whole square. So that whole square will cancel this. This is your an, right? This is your an factorial 2n upon factorial n whole square upon into 2 to power n. So using this an, we can compute the an into factorial n. So nth derivative of f, or nth derivative of pnx is nothing. It is the factorial of 2n. So you give the reference of the previous pages. So factorial 2n upon 2 to power n factorial n. So I will be when m is equal to n. So I will be integral minus 1 to 1 pn whole square into dx. So it will become right. It will be the minus 1 to power n, 2 to power n factorial n. This is already there. Now nth derivative of pnx we can write as a factorial 2n, 2 to power n, right? 2 to power n factorial of n whole square x square minus 1 power n into dx. So here, if you take all these things outside, so here we have the factorial 2n upon 2 to power 2n minus 1 to power minus 1 to power uh, factorial 2n 2 to power 2n and factorial n whole square, and integral of minus 1 to 1 1 minus x square power n, that will remain. Clear? Now we, because we write the integral minus 1 to 1 as a 2 into integral 0 to 1. So this 2 we have multiplied. So 2 into factorial 2n upon 2 to power 2n factorial of n whole square integral 0 to 1 1 minus x square power n into dx. So such when we have the 1 minus x square, in that case in general what kind of the substitution we put? We put x is equal to sine theta. X is equal to sine theta. So dx is equal to cos theta d theta. So our integral will become 2 into factorial 2n upon 2 to power 2n factorial n whole square 0 to pi by 2. Instead of the 0 to 1, now it become the 0 to pi by 2, and 1 minus sine square theta will become the cos square theta power n. So cos to power 2n into cos theta. So it will become the cos to power 2n plus 1 theta d theta. And this integral by parts, if you do, and we know that by parts we have the this result, integral of cos of the 2n plus 1 d theta. I'm not going in the integral part. So it is the 1 upon 2n plus 1 cos to power 2n theta sin theta plus 2n upon 2n plus 1 integral cos of the 2n minus 1 theta d theta. So just you put this integral. So what you will get, for the limit, if you take the limit 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2. So here when we put 0 to pi by 2, 0 to pi by 2, in both case it will give you 0. Right? At one place we have the cos 0 is equal to cos pi by 2 is equal to 0 and sin 0 is equal to 0. So under both limit this is the 0. So this integral will be the 0. So here we have the 2n upon 2n plus 1. 2n upon 2n plus 1 integral of the cos integral 0 to pi by 2 of cos of the 2n minus 1 theta d theta. So in the same fashion, if you proceed, you will get 2 into factorial 2n 2 to power 2n factorial n whole square. Inside the bracket you have 2n upon 2n plus 1 into, from the second integral we have the 2n minus 2 upon 2n minus 1, 2n minus 1, and so on. And at last we have the 2 upon 3 and integral 0 to pi by 2 cos theta. And integral of means integral of cos theta, you know, right? So it when we put the limit, you have the 2 into factorial of 2n 2 to power 2n factorial of n whole square. Now from the numerator, please see if there is one adjustment. So in the numerator, if you take this 2 common, from the all multiple, we have the 2 to power n. Then in the numerator we have the n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 dash into 3 into 2 into 1, that is the factorial n. So in the numerator we have the 2 to power n factorial n, and in the denominator we have the 3 into 5 into 7 into 2n minus 1 into 2n plus 1. So it is the 1 into 3 into 5 into 2n minus 1 into 2n plus 1. Now in this case, if you multiply the 2 here, 4 here, 4 here, at this place if you multiply the 2n here, and at last we have the 2n here, right? And before this, if you multiply with the 2n minus 2, So here we have the 2n minus 2 and 2n. If you multiply this, so again in the numerator, again we have the 2 to power n, right? So again we have the 2 to power n into factorial n, 2 to power n upon factorial n. And what is the benefit? In below we have the factorial of 2n into 2n plus 1. In the denominator we have factorial 2n into 2n plus 1. So what will happen? Here the factorial 2n will cancel with the factorial 2n, right? Factorial 2 to power 2n will cancel with the 2 to power 2n. Factorial n square will cancel with the factorial n square. So here we have only the 2 upon 2n plus 1. That is the integral minus 1 to 1 pnx whole square into dx. That is the our second result of the orthogonality. Right? So when m is not equal to n, then this integral is equal to 0. If m is equal to n, then this integral is the 2 upon 2n plus 1. So that is the proof of the orthogonality. Now, some question over the Legendre polynomial. So we have seen what is the P0. Earlier, we by the recurrence relation as well as by the Rodriguez formula, we have seen P0 is what? P0x is the 1. P1x. P1x is what? It is the x. P2x. P2x. P2x is 1 by 2, 3x square minus 2. Right? Minus 2. 1 by 2 minus 1. Minus 1. So we have these things. So from here, what we can say? 1 is equal to P naught x. 1 is equal to P naught x. From here, we can say x is equal to P1x. Wherever we have the x, there you can write P1x. Then from here, we have the x square. 3x square is equal to 3x square is equal to 2p2x, 2p2x and plus 1. And this 1 can be written as p naught x. This 1 can be written as p naught x. So here the x square will come. X square you can write in terms of the Legendre polynomial as 1 by 3 p naught x plus 2 by 3 p2x. Similarly, if you want to write the x cube can be written as 3 by 5 p1x plus 2 by 5 p3x. 2 by 5 p3x. Clear? So whatever the means order of x you require, you can write in terms of the polynomial. So here one thing you can note, if you are writing the 1, we have the order 0. Legendre polynomial of order 0. If when we have the x to power 1, then here we have the p1. When we have the x square, highest Legendre polynomial is the p2. When we have the x cube, highest order, here we have the p3. Right? So it means nth order means x to power n can be represented as linear combination of the Legendre polynomial of order n. So for the third degree polynomial, if we have the third degree, any polynomial we are taking now, any polynomial we are taking. So when we general polynomial, when we take, let's say px is equal to b naught plus b1x plus b2x square plus b3x cube. So this is the general polynomial of order, right, of order degree 3, right, of degree 3. If you are taking the general polynomial, so just b naught into 1, in place of the 1 we can put p naught x. b1 into x, so in place of the x we can put p1x. b2 into x square, in place of the x square, we can put 1 by 3 p naught plus 2 by 3 p2x and b3 into x cube. So in place of the x cube, we can put 3 by 5 p1 plus 2 by 5 p3x. So now you collect the coefficient of, p naught, p1, p2, p3. So here you can see this is the linear combination of Legendre polynomial. Legendre polynomial means any polynomial, any order polynomial or any degree polynomial can be written as linear combination of Legendre polynomial. So that means here the polynomial of degree 3, can be written as summation n is equal to 0 to 3 an, where an is equal to what? A naught is equal to b naught plus b2 by 3, a1 is equal to b naught plus b1 plus 3 by 5 b3, and a2 is equal to 2 by 3 b2, and a3 is equal to 2 by 5 b3, right? So it can be written as an into pnx. Means any polynomial can be written as linear combination of the Legendre polynomial. Since pnx itself is the polynomial of degree n, for every positive integer n, x to power n can always be expressed as linear combination of p naught, p1 dash 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 pnx. So any polynomial px of degree n has the expression of this type. Means polynomial, any degree polynomial can be expanded as linear combination of the Legendre polynomial of order p0, p1, or order 0, 1, n, right? 0, 1, 2 dash 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 n. That can be written. So this is very important formula in examination point of view. In general, we ask this thing in the exam. We give any polynomial, you have to express that in terms of the Legendre polynomial. Now, we have seen px is the polynomial. Now, from here, by taking the motivation from here, can we write any arbitrary function in terms of the Legendre polynomial? For example, e to power x. So e to power x can be written as 1 plus x square upon factorial 2 plus x cube upon factorial 3 and so on. So now you can put 1 x square x cube in terms of the Legendre polynomial. Then you can write. So arbitrary function can also be written as a linear combination of the Legendre polynomial. So here we assume that after taking the motivation or inspiration from the polynomial, we extend that result for the arbitrary function. And we take let fx is equal to summation an into pn, and n from 0 to infinity, because now we do not know what is the, in the polynomial we know the highest degree of the x, accordingly we can close, but for the x we can have the infinite expansion, so that's why we have to take the summation n from 0 to infinity an pn, where an need to determine. Now how we can determine? For that we use the orthogonal property, right? What is the orthogonal property? On both sides we multiply with respect to pm, multiply by the pmx, and then integrate with respect to x from -1 to 1. Then you take the integration from -1 to 1. First you multiply by the pmx on both sides. Then you take the integration from -1 to 1. So here we have the integral. Left side will be the integral fx into pmx dx with respect to x. You have multiplied, and on the right hand side, we have the summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an, then integral pmx pnx dx. right? And we know that integration and the summation are commutative in nature. So you can take integration inside the summation, right? Or you can take integration outside the summation. So as per convenient, we are writing the integration inside the summation. Now, just now you have studied what is the value of the integral minus 1 to 1 pmx pnx dx is equal to 0. Means it is equal to 0, right? It is equal to 0 when m is not equal to n, and it is 2 upon 2n plus 1 when m is equal to n. So when we are taking the summation, when we are taking this summation from n is equal to 0 to infinity, so at some point, when we are increasing the summation from 0, 1, 2, so at some instant it will come m, right? M minus 1, m plus 1. So for the m, we have the pm, right? For the m, we have the pm. And for that, integral is what? 2 upon 2m plus 1. Otherwise, all the integral are 0. So it will become 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 upon 2m plus 1 plus 0 plus 0 and so on up to the infinity. Means for all other n's, the due to the orthogonality, the integral is 0. Just for the m, its value is the 2 upon 2m plus 1, right? So that principle I'm using here. So this is the integral minus 1 to 1 fx pmx dx on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it will become the 2 upon 2m plus 1. Then this an can be written as am. For the n is equal to m, we have this value. So this will become the 2am upon 2m plus 1. Or if you change the index from m to n, so this will become integral minus 1 to 1 fx pnx dx is equal to 2 an upon 2n plus 1. Now just you compute the value of the an. So what we can compute, it will become an is equal to 2n plus 1 upon 2 integral minus 1 to 1 fx and pnx dx. So this can be written as an is equal to n plus half integral minus 1 to 1 fx pnx dx. So what we have taken fx is equal to summation from 0 to infinity an pn, where an can be computed as, where each constant or coefficients an can be computed as n plus 1 by 2 integral minus 1 to 1 fx into pnx dx. That is the approach to determine the Legendre expansion of any arbitrary function. If you want to expand any arbitrary function in terms of the Legendre polynomial, so first you write that function in terms of the summation n is equal to 0 to infinity an pn, and the an can be computed as n plus half integral minus 1 to 1, right, fx into pnx dx. And for the all order n, you know the what is the value of the pn. For example, p0 is 1, p1x is equal to x, p2 is equal to 1 by 2, 3x square minus 1, and so on. Now, question number 4 of section 44. This Legendre polynomial in your book is the section 44. Right, section 44 on page 341. This problem, this is a theoretical problem, right? This problem constitutes a direct verification that if pnx is defined by the formula, what is this formula? That is the Rodrigues formula. If pnx is defined by this formula, right, this is the Rodrigues formula we have already derived, then it satisfies the Legendre equation. Then it means they are saying that this pnx, whatever the pnx we have derived, that is the solution of the Legendre equation. It means this will satisfy the given equation, this Legendre equation, and has property that pn, right? Pn1 is equal to 1. Now consider the polynomial of degree n defined by. Now you have to consider the polynomial of degree n defined by. Means this Pnx, the Rodrigues, whatever the Rodrigues formula, that is the solution of the Legendre equation. Now if you define, and this property you know, Pn1 is equal to 1, that already we have proved by the generating function. By the generating function, we have already proved this. Now, consider the polynomial of degree n defined by. This question is available in the book. Is defined by, right? Yx is equal to nth derivative with respect to x of x square minus x square minus 1 to power n. Now, if now if w is equal to x square minus 1 power n, then x square minus 1 w dash minus 2nx w is equal to 0. So in this case, they are saying that if the w is equal to if the w is equal to x square minus 1 power n, so dw by dx or w dash is equal to n x square minus 1 power n minus 1 into 2x. That is the first derivative. So if you multiply both side by multiply by x square minus 1 on both sides, so this will become x square minus 1 w dash is equal to n x square minus 1 power n 2x. And what is this x square minus 1 power n? That we have assumed as a w. So this will become x square minus 1 w dash is equal to 2nwx. This is the 2nwx. So that is written there. So if w is equal to x square minus 1, then we have x square minus 1 w dash minus 2nx w is equal to 0. Now, by differentiating this equation, k plus 1 times, so that we have this result. So if you differentiate this by the k plus 1 times, so we have this result x square minus 1 w dash minus 2n wx is equal to 0. Now differentiate k plus 1 times with respect to x. So for this type of the differentiation, we have to use using Leibniz theorem. Using Leibniz theorem. So for this type of the differentiation, we use the Leibniz theorem. What is the Leibniz theorem? Leibniz theorem states that d or dn of ub, dn of the ub is equal to u nth derivative of the v plus nc1 first derivative of the u n minus 1th derivative of the v plus nc2 second derivative of the u and n minus 2th derivative of b plus nc3 third derivative of u n minus 3th derivative of v and so on. Then after we have n minus 1th derivative of u and first derivative of v plus nth derivative of u and last as it is. So that is the Leibniz theorem, right? Leibniz theorem we use for determining the nth derivative of the product of the two function. Now we have to take the k plus nth derivative of this. So x square minus 1. What is the kth derivative of the w dash? It will become w to power k plus 2. One derivative already there. Now you have to take the k plus 1. Then plus k plus 1, k plus 1 c1 and c1, k plus 1 c1. Now first derivative of the x square minus 1, that is the 2x, and kth derivative of w dash, so this will become k plus 1, k plus 1 plus, now here we have the k plus 1 c2, and second derivative of the x square minus 1, that is the 2, and here we have the kth derivative of the w, kth derivative of the w, or you can say that k minus 1th derivative of the w dash, minus 2n. Now wx, we have the two function again, so wx, so x as it is. Now kth derivative of the w, that k plus 1th derivative of the w, so it will become the w to power kth derivative of w, so it is k bracket k plus 1 plus k plus 1 c1, k plus 1 c1, and derivative of the x is 1, derivative of x is 1, and its kth derivative will become w to power k, w to power k. That will be the n is equal to 0. So here we have taken the k plus 1th derivative of the given equation. Now when you collect the term of w k plus 2, so we have the x square minus 1, plus when we collect the term of w k, k plus 1, k plus 1, so from here we have the k plus 1 c1, k plus 1 c1 into 2x, k plus 1 c1 into 2x from here, and from here we have the minus 2nx, minus 2nx, and here we have w to power k. So from the first we have k plus 1 c2 2 minus k plus 1 c1 into 2n, into 2n. This only, na? Right? So here we have this. So if you put, right, so here we have written the same thing, just to expand the k plus 1 c1, k plus 1 c2, you expand. So here you will get the this term x square minus 1 w to power k plus 2, uh, or you can say kth derivative of w, k plus 2th derivative of w, 2 into k plus 1 x, k plus 1th derivative of w, plus k plus 1 into k, kth derivative of w, minus 2nx, kth derivative k plus 1th derivative of w, minus 2 into k plus 1 into n, right, into n, kth derivative of the w. So in this case, if you put y is equal to, w to power n or k, so right, if you put y is equal to w to power n, so consider that y is equal to w to power n is the solution of the equation 1. Equation 1, whatever the equation is given to you. So here this w is what? Y is equal to w is what? X square minus 1 to power n, and this can be written as x minus 1, x plus 1 power n. So here we have the power n and power n. So let's say u is equal to x minus 1 to power n, v is equal to x plus 1 to power n, and using the Leibniz formula, right? Using the Leibniz formula, uh, right? Using the Leibniz formula, if you have to compute the nth derivative, right, means w to power nth derivative of w. So w is what? U into v. So that is equal to nth derivative of u into v plus n minus 1th derivative of u into first derivative of v, and so on. So in this case, if you will see, the y will come factorial n 2 to power n, right? Y will come factorial n 2 to power n, because why it is coming? When we put n x is equal to 1, x is equal to 1 means x minus 1 will become the 0, right? When we take x minus 1, so wherever we have the x minus 1, right, wherever we have the u, wherever we have the u, in this case x minus 1, so when we put x equal to 1, it will give you, right, it will give you 0. Only the 0 will not come at this place. What is the nth derivative of x to power x minus 1 to power n? That is a factorial n. And what is the v? What is the v? X plus 1 to power n. X is equal to 1 means 2 to power n. So that's why here we have the y1. Y means x is equal to 1. Y1 means x is equal to 1. So it is equal to factorial n 2 to power n. Any problem in this part? So now, so here we have taken the w is equal to, right? This already we have done. This early in first part we have done this. So here we have the, if you combined, if you take the nth derivative, right, nth derivative is equal to y. So our equation, whatever the equation we have derived, that can be written as x square minus 1 d2y upon dx2 plus 2x dy dx minus n into n plus 1 y. And what is this? This is the standard Legendre equation, and we know that its solution is the Pnx. So constant multiple of the solution is also the solution. So here we can see that C nth derivative of w is equal to Pnx. Means first you have computed for the general equation, you have computed the, you know that for the Legendre equation we have the solution Pnx. So just constant multiple of the solution is the solution. Means at some time Pnx is nothing, it is a constant multiple C of the solution means nth derivative of the w. So now from here, and C at the x is equal to 0, C at the x is equal to 0 we have computed as a, right, C at the x is equal to 0 we have computed as a 2 to power n factorial n. So just you put the 2 to power n factorial n, right? So C will be the 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n, that will come. So that is the Rodriguez formula, because this w is what? X square minus 1 power n. So Pnx is equal to 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n, nth derivative of x square minus 1 power n. That will be the solution. So means they are saying that through this way we can also verify that Rodriguez formula is the solution of the given equation. You revise this. If you feel any ambiguity, so in next class you ask me. Right, just to see the question. So here we have computed the value of the C, right? C as a 1 upon 2 to power n factorial n, and then Pnx Rodriguez formula we have computed this. So if you feel any ambiguity, then in next class. Tomorrow we have the test. कब लेना है ऑपरेटर क्लास?